Hi, it's Dr. Heath here again. I am going to talk you through one of your My Math Lab homework problems. This one is from section 3.3, number 8. So what you've been asked to do in this problem is to analyze these addition and subtraction computations and figure out what this hypothetical student has done wrong in each of the cases. So if we look at A, where we see that the student is trying to add 134 plus 47. So if we were going to do this on our own, we would say 134 plus 47. We would add our ones place. 4 ones plus 7 ones is 11 ones. And we can see that they have a 1 in their ones place that they've been working on, but let's see if they follow our next step also. So then what they have in the tens place is 3 tens plus 7 tens, or excuse me, 3 tens and 4 tens gives us 7 tens together. But in our ones place, we had 11 ones, which we regrouped as 1 10 and 1 1. So that should give us a total of 1 10 plus 3 tens plus 4 tens is 8 tens. So that's what the student has done wrong here. So that would correspond with a tens digit was not regrouped as 110 when the sum of the units digits was more than 9. All right, so if we look at part B, we're trying to add 87 plus 64. So if we were going to do this, we would ask ourselves, okay, in our ones place, I have 7 ones plus 4 ones. How many ones is that? That is a total of 11 ones. So what we should do, if we were going to do partial products algorithm, we would say, okay, that's 11 ones. And then I would say, all right, 8 tens plus 6 tens is a total of 14 tens, which is 140. And I would add those together, and I would see that that gives me a total of 151. But what this student has done is they've put the 11 ones in the tens and ones places, which is okay because I have 110 and 1 1 and 11 ones. However, they've taken my 14 tens and they've placed them in the wrong place value of the hundreds. So really what this means is that they've said that there are 14 hundreds, but there are really 14 tens. So that would result in the partial sums not in the correct place value positions. Because if we're doing partial sums, we would have 11 ones ending in the ones place. And if we had 14 tens, that would end in the tens place. All right, let's look at C. So C, we have 56 minus 27, and they've claimed that that should give us 31. So 56 minus 27, they've said that this equals 31. Now, our typical algorithm for subtracting these two numbers would tell us that we need to regroup 56 so that we use one of the tens and include it in our ones place. So instead of 5 tens and 6 ones, I would think of this as 4 tens and 16 ones. And then I would say 16 minus 7 is 9, and 4 minus 2 is 2. However, they've gone through and they've said, I have a 1 in the ones place and a 3 in the tens place. And what it seems like this person has done is they've subtracted 6 from 7 instead of 7 from 6. And then they subtracted 2 from 5. So they've just taken the lesser of the two and subtracted it from the larger. Now, this might require a little bit of vocabulary reminder, but they use words in this question like minuend and subtrahend. And so minuend is the number we are subtracting from. So 56 is the minuend, and the subtrahend is 27. So what they've done is they've subtracted the ones place of the minuend from the subtrahend instead of the other way around. So the units minuend is subtracted from the units subtrahend should be our correct answer here. And units is synonymous with ones. Okay, last but not least, we have part D, which is 56 minus 19. Or excuse me, 65 minus 19 is 56. So if we were typically going to do this problem, I would say 65 minus 19. I would regroup, and instead of 6 tens and 5 ones, I would say I'm going to have 5 ones and 15 tens. And then I subtract 9 from 15, and that gives me 6. And then I subtract 1 from 5, and I have 4. Now, what it seems that this student has done is they have the correct ones value. They have 9 from 15, giving 6, but then they have 5 in the tens place, which makes me think that they've likely not regrouped one of the tens from our 6 tens. They've just left it as 6 tens instead of uh, reducing that to 5 tens. So if we look at our options for this problem, we should see that 1 tens value should have been traded from the 6 in the minuend's tens position, remembering that the minuend is the number that we are subtracting from, and the subtrahend is the number we are subtracting. I hope this gives you a better idea of how these problems work, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.